right, what is up, everybody? Welcome to Blue Node, where we talk about all things Bitcoin, art, poetry, and eternal information on our favorite blockchain. With me today is Harmony Sage. Harmony, welcome to the show.
Hi, how are you? Thank you
I'm
for having me, Lou. Yeah.
absolutely. I'm doing great. It's nice to have you on the show. And I asked you, I was like, is your name Harmony Sage for real? And the answer was,
Yeah, it is. My parents were hippies, Harmony Sage. I used to hate my name growing up, but now I kind of love it.
I think it's a great name. It's super
Yeah.
cool. And it like you can't be like at least not somewhat of an optimist with the name Harmony Sage. Like you got to have some wisdom tucked in there and some chill vibes, even though maybe you fought it a little as a kid because you're like, I'm hippie name.
Yeah. Well, I think my uncles and cousins used to call me Disharmony. So it's been my like life mission to find that balance. And now, in my old age, I feel a little bit more balanced
Yeah,
for
thanks.
sure.
Thanks,
Yeah.
cousins and uncles, for the. It's
Yeah.
always that one nickname that they didn't
Yeah.
even think about that sticks like for life, and you're like, damn you, I'm gonna change that one. Is that because
Uh,
when you were younger, more chaos ensued as the entropy turned into a finely crafted art and poems that we see today?
Yeah, I always say my name is Harmony, but I love chaos because I kind of do love chaos. I think it's one reason why I'm drawn to the Web3 space
Sure.
because our cycles can be so chaotic, right? Where sometimes we're just like on the edge of our seat with things. We have these high highs and low lows. So that's where I get my chaos these days.
Nice. So did you grow up like full hippie, like hippie commune, or are we just talking like crispy stoner West Coast vibe hippie?
Well, yeah, when I was really young, my parents followed Swami Satchitananda, and they said that I used to sit at his feet when he would be like giving sermons. But when what like he wanted everybody to change their names and like move to some place, and then that's when my parents said, "Nope, we're out of here. We're not doing this."
We're
Yeah.
good. Did he turn out to be kind of a creeper or no? But he definitely
You
started getting controlly.
you could definitely Google him. I think there is some
Oh dear
controversy
God.
there.
But
Yeah.
he's not that Netflix one, is he like the
No, 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 no,
oh,
no.
okay.
Not that bad. But I
Uh,
think every all these people who put themselves in godlike positions probably have some type of control thing going on, right?
Yeah, I think
Just like
if I just start calling myself like Swami Blue, people be like, I don't know. Like I don't see you as a Swami. That feels like you're elevating yourself. Come on, dude.
yeah. Just like our politicians, right? You have to be a little narcissistic to put yourself in a position of power,
Yeah,
in my
well,
opinion.
probably
Yeah.
and stupid because you probably get compromised and then people have their way. Like they get your votes. You go in with good intentions and probably leave like, what just happened? You know.
I yeah. I like to believe that everybody starts out with good intentions,
I think a
but
lot of them. I'll bet a lot of them do.
yeah.
Maybe it's tougher these days, but I think a lot of them do.
Hmm.
So I got to say, your PFP is awesome. I know we talked about it a little before the show,
Hmm.
um, but tell us about that because it's a really cool look. I see you've got the homage to MFers. I'm a huge fan of MFers, and after you share your story, I'll share a little sub story on MFers for you. But yeah, how did that PFP come about? It's super cool.
So my PFP used to be my MFR, and I loved it, but I had like a couple people telling me like you're so entrenched in the Bitcoin ecosystem, you should have a Bitcoin PFP. So it never kind of felt right to me to adopt a PFP from somebody else's collection, even
Right.
though I love and support so many communities. It never resonated with me to keep it for at least a long period of time. So I love Eka Vibes. I love her. Her
Yeah,
art
me too.
is so amazing. I mean, I just can look at her stuff forever. And I started speaking with her about creating a custom PFP for me that we can inscribe together. I described to her what I wanted, and what you're seeing now is actually not the full PFP. Um, it moves from like
Ooh.
a, yeah, it's
So
dynamic. I love.
it's eckified. It's got that three-dimensional.
Yeah. Well,
Oh,
it
she's
starts
so
out
gifted.
as like a woman, and I'll send you the full. I should have sent you the full link to it, but it starts out as a woman, like a blonde woman with skin and everything, and then it morphs into the skeleton of the woman. And if you read the poem that goes with it, you'll see. We could read the poem together if you want. But
Oh, I'd love
so
that.
so she started sending me these preliminary drawings about what I was describing to her, and it touched me so much that I was inspired to write a poem specifically for what she was sending me. When I sent her the poem, she went into this long story about her and her mother. And I'm not going to tell the story
Yeah,
because
yeah,
that's
yeah. Well, I got you know
her,
what? I've got to have her on the show. Yeah, we'll let her
yeah.
tell it. But she's so talented. But keep going.
Uh, yeah. So it really mirrored my own journey, and it was exactly what I was describing in the poem. And it was we felt this huge amount of synchronicity between our lives and between the point we were in our lives right now. And so then we decided to inscribe the poem with the PFP.
Okay.
I originally said we should inscribe the poem as a child to the PFP, but she said no. The poem is the origin story.
Oh, I
So
love it.
that yeah, so that is the parent, and then one of the children of this poem is my PFP.
Would it be
Yeah,
easy for me to find the poem in, because I've got them all up here.
yeah,
Obviously, we don't want to search, but would it be easy to find them? Let's read this first. I think I'll read it
yeah.
because this is the grandparent of the entire 369 collection. Obviously, we'll get into it, and you've never been on this show, but we go all over the place. We have fun, right? So we'll get into
Amazing.
the poetry and then we'll pull back out, figure out what else to talk about, and just have fun. Um, Beauty
Great.
melts away like memories of splashing in the salty sea, staring up into the galactic abyss, not knowing which way is up or down, pretending like I couldn't hear my mother calling. It's time to go home. I'm not ready to leave yet, but when it's our time, it's time to go. It's really beautiful. You're very talented.
Thank you so much.
Is it hard to hear?
Yeah,
Is it hard to hear your own stuff, Fred? Is it like,
yeah. I think this poem particularly like touches me. So a lot of emotions come up with this
sure.
poem. But yeah, I mean, I it's funny because a lot of people who have already collected some of my 369 poems have requested voice notes that I read them the poem. So I've been getting more used to reading them and hearing them, which is a really cool experience, actually. Yeah.
Yeah, it is. And I will say I've never been good at taking compliments. And as I get older, I'm getting a lot better at it because I'm a lot more present, a lot more conscious of it. But it's really good to it can be hard because I've always, like, in business and life, I'm like, succeed and then on to the next. And it's like, dude, relax, like, smell the roses and accept a compliment, and don't be stingy with your compliments either. You know what I mean? So no,
Yeah.
it's really beautiful. When I read it, I love the dual meaning. Obviously it's not, it works on so many levels, but no, it's beautiful.
Thank you. Thank you. Yeah, obviously it's about life, it's about death, it's about actually having my mother calling to me and telling me to leave this experience, right?
Yeah.
But your mother could also be, if you believe in a higher being, the higher being calling you back to to your ultimate home, right?
Oh,
Yeah.
100%.
Hmm.
I've had experiences where I felt that kind of heavenly nudge, be like, dude, it's time. It's like it's okay. You can rest now. It's time to go. And I'm like,
Yeah.
and you always think you would be ready for such an insanely profound experience, but it's just so overwhelming. I'm like, like I think I've got stuff. I've got little corners to sweep in my little earthen meat suit, So no, that's definitely how I
Definitely.
read it, and it's a beautiful sentiment. I think a lot of people do their day to day lives and don't really realize like we're heaven and hell are right here. We're in this kind of soup, and there's so many like frequencies and levels of consciousness to exist on, and it's there's a time for everybody. It's super super cool.
I totally agree. And really quick, just to go back to the PFP,
Please, yeah, I want to
since
see
I,
it.
yeah, no, since I did take on this new PFP when she made me this beautiful piece of art, which I think I'm biased, but I think it's like one of her best creations ever.
Yeah, of course.
And I'll own it forever. So I did put my little MFer on my shoulder because I wanted people to know who I was. Like, when you change your PFP and then you come
100%.
up on the timeline and people are like, who is that?
I
So
just
that's why I have her on my shoulder.
Yeah, I've done it a couple times, but I finally was like, you know what? I'm just gonna put him me. I had my Ordinal punk, the blue guy, forever. Before that, I had a crypto punk. Before that, it was an Azuki, and before that, it was a little like hand sketch drawing of one of my kids when I first created the account. So it was kind of a fun little morphing. But like you said, changing all the time can get tough because people know you through your PFP, not even necessarily your name or anything else. So I think
Yeah.
it's good. And you know what? I think MFers, like, let's be honest, a lot of us cut our teeth on art in Ethereum. And I think MFers was smart, unlike Azuki or Bored Apes. They did bring this collection on chain. I don't think it's very easy to access, but I actually I'll share a fun little story. I teleburned um, my MFer. I've had one for a couple of years, and I teleburned it, and it is the only MFer I think below its inscription number 4700. I
Mm.
inscribed a bunch of stuff in that first couple of days when it kind of went public. So my Azuki, my MFer, I should have like literally hand sketched my own stuff. That probably would have been more meaningful. But I was like, you know, we got to get in before 5,000, just see what sticks. But so
That's
I
awesome.
inscribed this, and then the whole teleburn address. I teleburned. I didn't sell my MFer. It is officially teleburned to inscription 4733.
Damn.
One of the MFers was so proud. What's his name? He actually has one that looks exactly like this, but his watch is different. I think he
Is
was
it
talking.
Mo? You look like it looks like Mo's MFer.
How do you spell
Examiner
his name?
Mo. Examiner Mo. It looks like his MFer a
No.
little bit.
If you said his
No?
name, I would think of it. But
Yeah.
he I don't know if he teleburned it, but he inscribed his MFer pretty early. It was like 10, 20, or 30,000. He's like, I got the first MFer over here. And I was like, in the comments, I'm
You're like,
like,
nope.
take a look at this one, dude. He was like, oh, just I didn't want to take the wind out of his sails, but obviously this one, like teleburning it, I was proud of it. I think MFers
Yeah.
captures very well to me the zeitgeist of what this whole collecting in communities are about. It's a little irreverence, but it's also like kind of being in a group for the long haul. It's very decentralized, and
Hmm.
I think mine's more off chain or on chain now than all the MFers, but they did bring it. They did bring them eventually on chain. I thought like someone tried to explain to me where it was, and to me it was always a little convoluted how it was on chain, but it sounds like they all are now.
Yeah. I mean, MFers are what punks were supposed to be. So I think that there is some hidden alpha there. You see MFers building everywhere. They're into
Yeah.
art. So I definitely resonate with the community about like being into the art, being into the tech, and also being able to trade and participate in the Deejin life as well, which I think we can all wear all of those hats, right? We don't need to just stick to one lane. Let's enjoy it all.
100%. Well,
Yeah.
you made a pretty strong
Mhm.
statement there. You said the MFers are what the punks should have been. And I don't disagree with you. Why do you have that opinion? Like, why is MFers more than punks? Is punks too much of a caricature of itself and just big, rich guys pretending to
No,
be art connoisseurs or what?
I mean, I think it it started out as this kind of rebellious kick with people who were really individuals and being able to express themselves through these PFPs. And I think that it it changed a lot when Yuga acquired them, and with that whole like Nina Chanel debacle.
Oh, was
I,
that
I
that collection of stick figures?
Yeah, I think it really did punks dirty. I don't know. I never saw
Yeah.
them in the same light after that, but also because MFers are CCO, like you can right click save, you can do whatever you want with the MFers. And you see a lot of people who have MFer PFPs on the timeline, they don't necessarily own an MFer. So it's not this
Which I love. I
exclusive,
think that's so
yeah.
cool. Like if someone, I always told people when I had a CryptoPunk or MFR, I'm like, not that they need permission on MFR, but when I had Nizuki, I'm like, anybody is allowed to use this. Like you're just propagating my brand. I guess unless you have like hate speech and stuff that I totally don't support, then I would probably try and get you shut down on the socials. But otherwise, yeah,
Yeah.
have at it, man.
Well, that's exactly why I say that MFers are what punks were supposed to be, because it is a kind of like do what you want. Like if you want to use this, then use it. You're only spreading the brand and making, making my asset look better and
Uh-oh.
of this IP stuff.
You froze for a second, so
Oh
just
no.
just so you know, it's you're back though.
Okay.
So
I'm
no,
back. So
that's a good
I was going
point
to say like
though.
a lot of the IP stuff is so exclusive and like you like has all these rules like we own the rights, you can't do this. I just feel like it's very anti
Hundred
decentralization and
percent.
anti what our space is supposed to be.
That
Yeah.
is pure nonsense, I think. And obviously crypto punks have a very high value. I do not own one anymore, but I will say that I definitely resonate with the MFer culture better than I do the punk culture. When I was in the punk culture and in the group chat or the whatever the Discord DMs, it was very like if you kind of went against the grain of like the 10 people behind the scenes who kind of ran it, they would call you a muppet. And that happened to me because they were like, I don't know if you know this, but CryptoPunks, there's a individual or maybe it's a group of people. They buy them. I don't know if you can do it anymore, but they front run. If they see you want to buy one, they'll front run it and then they'll sell it to you for like 4 or 5 ETH more. So basically cause they know how to run, the EVM and get to the front of the stack. So they'll basically take a premium cut off you and they'll do it when you want to buy it. It's not like they did it before, they do it when. And I called them out and I just said, yeah, it's possible, but is that the right way to treat a community? Someone comes in there and they already realize that they've paid, like a $20,000 premium on their punk because you made your cut. And it was very bizarre. Within 1 minute, the guy who did it commented, but within 30 seconds like 5 other people did. And I'm thinking like obviously there's a side cabal, but there's probably also people who have multiple accounts and they just shut me down. And I still stood my ground. I'm like, I don't give a shit like about who you guys are. Like I'm not getting in the bottom of your stupid line. And I held it for another year and I had to sell it for other reasons. Like I think CryptoPunks have good value, but I agree with you. MFers are just being CCO and out there and open. that is the ethos of art on Ethereum, Bitcoin, what have you. And
Yep.
CryptoPunks will always be a part of that. Remember, Yuga doesn't own them anymore. I think this new group is really trying to get them more into museums and curate a bunch more. But I'm pretty sure the IP didn't open to CCO because there's too
Right.
much value in their buying. It's too bad the punks couldn't just buy themselves out of Yuga and then go full CCO, because that would cement it as probably the most valuable PFP collection forever. But there's too much money involved, and I'm not sure if they're going to do that.
Yeah, I agree with you 100%.
Yeah. So let's get back into ordinals. When did you get into ordinals? When did you make the switch?
Well, so I
You froze again. So your connection, you might be at like the rim of your
ugh,
Wi-Fi connection. So your face is frozen. I can't hear you.
this is
I can hear you now. There you go.
oh no. I'm so sorry.
It's okay.
You know what I think? It tries to connect to my phone. So I'm going to make sure that my hotspot is off. Oh, it is off. Okay. all right, sorry about that. So I came over. I was fortunate enough to start like messing around with ordinals very early on, but I like my attention wasn't there. I had a really good friend, or I have a really good friend. His name is Crypto Batusai, who got into ordinals really, really early when we were kind of trusting everything to OTC. You saw something, and when like we weren't even using our own wallets, right? That the you would trust this person to like hold it for you. But my attention wasn't there,
Right.
so I didn't really acquire anything of like really big value at the beginning. I did uh, I did get rugged a couple times, so I did lose money
In Bitcoin or
uh,
ETH?
in Bitcoin.
Oh God.
So no, I mean, so like you were sending Bitcoin to people and you were trusting them that they would give you these ordinals, and um, then sometimes they would just disappear, right?
Yeah.
Like they were not trusted people. Uh, but I also qualified for the Runestone airdrop because I
Cool.
had wallets, yeah, that had at least three inscriptions in it.
Okay.
So that was cool. And I think like when the runestone craze started like coming about, like when everybody was saying like, oh, this is going to be big, this is going to be big, that's when I started paying attention more, instead of just having like these wallets with these random
Sure.
inscriptions in it. And then I researched more communities and I was joining communities. Of course, I over leveraged myself in runes like any good Bitcoiner.
Yeah, we all do.
And
We all
yeah,
do.
and that's so the same person, Crypto Batusai, he got me into BTC machines, which I'm really involved in the BTC
Oh,
machine
cool.
community. Yeah, I help run their female community, Satoria XX, and I love those guys. They're just so awesome and have done so much for the ecosystem. And then yeah, from there I've just been here. Yeah.
Very cool. And have you always been an artist, a poet? What's your
So yeah,
background?
so I've always written poetry my whole life. I like as long as I can remember, I've written poetry. When I was messing around on ETH, I was not putting my own art out there. I was more of an art collector
Okay.
and learning about art, and it really awakened this like spirit in me that had these intense feelings for art. And I started out by just like with Eka's PFP she made for me. I would collect a piece of art and I would write a poem for it, just express the way that piece made me feel. I travel a lot for work and also to see family, and I'm an open water swimmer. I've swam in the
Oh,
ocean since yeah, since I was very young. So everywhere I go, that's like one of my things that to I try to get a swim in wherever I go.
do you use a wetsuit
And
or a dry suit?
oh no, no, because the people that I swim with on a regular basis, the one woman who is like the head of the group, she says if you wear a wetsuit, then the sharks will think you're a seal.
Oh.
So yeah, so I've
So
got,
Lake
and
Michigan, fine. Ocean, no.
yeah, so I'm fine with the cold. Like I really don't mind it. It's kind of exhilarating
I
for
was going to
me.
say, it's
Um,
probably the healthiest thing
yeah.
you could possibly do.
Yeah, I like doing like those ice dips too. That's fun. But so everywhere I go, I collect seashells from just to start like just to remember the places that I've been. And then I write poetry to remember the feelings I had when I was in that place or to relive experiences or to process feelings. Um, and so I picture this. So then I'm like on a beach with my seashells by myself, and then I sometimes I sketch my seashells. So if you notice from the art in the poetry, that's why they're called 369 seashell poems, because I I realized or I read that seashells, the way that they are created and they're made up mathematically, are with the numbers 3, 6, and 9.
Right.
So it just like made a lot of sense to me to
Isn't it called the
include,
perfect ratio?
yeah, the
The
golden
golden,
ratio.
thank you. I knew I was getting it wrong.
Yeah,
Golden ratio, yeah.
yeah. Yeah, so Daff, who is a member and also I think a team member of the Skolex community, I also love the Skolex community. Knox has been a huge support to me. Everyone in that community is just amazing. Um, so Daff is one of the people who um, helped me at like do all of this amazing coding, and he built a tool for me that I could take my pencil sketchings and add like color and texture and and add the shells on top of the backgrounds, and also take the shells and kind of multiply them uh, to to have this feeling of infinity, um, and to have this feeling of like eternity and infinity. So some of them I like moved them and multiplied them so many times that he was a little frustrated with with me because the coding got to be a little difficult. Um, so that's the story of how the art got paired with the poetry. Um, some of the
You're breaking up again. I think your Wi-Fi is getting fussy
oh
again. There we go. It's fine.
yeah,
It'll break up.
sorry.
It's only happened
Yeah,
twice. It's fine. So
I know
is
my
this art um is this all generative? Is this all drawn by you? How did this come about, the art side of it?
yeah. So the seashells are actually pencil sketchings of mine,
Wow.
and then Daff built the tool for me that I could multiply them and place them in different positions, adding like textures to
Got it.
them.
Got it. Okay.
Uh, yeah, so it's like a mixture of traditional art and generative art. But each one, it's not like I pressed a button and it was like auto generate. Each
Right.
one I like curated and I did myself, and I made these combinations like exactly the way that I wanted to make them. The text box also is something interesting. So if you go into that text box and you press the arrow,
Okay.
you can you can read the poem line by
Right.
line, or if you press the little button, the little circle on the, for me, it's on the left. then you'll be able to see the entire poem. The little
Oh,
yeah,
beautiful.
exactly.
Yeah, and it kind
Yeah,
of it uses the backdrop of the poem. Now,
yeah.
how does the poetry, how did you match it to each drawing?
So the all the poems are based off of Tesla's 369 principle. I'm pretty
Okay.
obsessed with Nikola Tesla. And he says that if we knew the magnificence of the numbers 3, 6, and 9, that we would hold the keys to the universe. I like to say that if you read the poems and you explore them, then you might hold the key to the universe as well.
Oh, I
Uh,
like that.
if you go through the poems from start to finish,
Uh-huh.
you'll see that they mirror the rhythm of all of the numerology of what each number means. So like number one, and it go if you read them from start to finish, which you totally do not have to,
Uh-huh.
um, is they mirror creation is one, two is motion, three is balance, four is connection, five is reflection, six is transformation,
Uh-huh.
uh, seven is resonance, eight is completion, and nine is renewal. So,
Oh, I like
um,
that.
yeah. So the ones at the end are also kind of about like death and transformation and renewal, and the beginning is more about connection, creation, potential. Um, yeah, and I did try to match the feeling of the poem or the phrase to which shell and which art I was pairing it with.
Uh-huh.
Sometimes it's very hard to do. Um, yeah, I mean, it's like it's one of those things that when you're doing 369, it some of them are better paired than others. You'll also see that like some of the poems are deeply personal, like very, very personal, and then some
Uh-huh.
of them are there just to strengthen that theme that 369 uh, is there, is does hold the keys to the universe. Um, yeah, I love it. Like
Do you
I
think
think it's
Nikola
really fun.
Tesla was do you think he was completely misunderstood and he knew way more about like free energy, the universe and how things really worked than like do you think he
A
was
hundred,
basically shut down and silenced because
yeah, 100%.
yeah.
So yeah, I'm totally into conspiracy theories.
I wouldn't even say don't say conspiracy. It's not a conspiracy if it's true, right? So, but
Well, yeah.
Tesla was I mean the guy was a genius ahead of his time and
Hmm.
he yeah, it's he's an interesting story, but it sounds like it really resonated with you. What about him that what one or two things that you know about him that most people don't know that they should?
I mean, I would tell people to really research his ideas about renewable energy and how energy, everything that we need to power our lives and to power, this planet already exists in this planet and
Right.
is free to use. Uh, that is one thing that I really do believe. Another thing that when studying Tesla's works and learning about his life is I it has opened me up a lot to the idea of universal consciousness and the
Mm-hmm.
fact that like everything holds energy, even inanimate objects like a rock or this couch. It's not just our spirit, like the energy that lives within us. I think
Sure.
that everything is connected, um, and that everything does really have a life of its own.
Yeah,
And yeah.
that's beautifully said. Dare we try and find the the one that Eka did with the PFP tied to it, or
Oh, so
oh, she's
for it
break.
on
You broke up again. Go ahead.
I can't. I tried to look for it in on ordinals.com and I don't understand why it does. it doesn't come up as one of the children, but on ord.io, I see it as a child.
Got it. Got it.
Um, but there is from here, I actually have a hidden inscription. If you
Ooh.
click on, yeah,
Oh, you're breaking up again. You gotta check your Wi-Fi signals in your house. You gotta do a full boot sweep. You're back. I don't know if
yeah, I mean, do
it
I have
might
to like touch it the whole time?
it might be your computer just like going on power save mode or
Bouncing.
something. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't see anything changing.
Eh, whatever.
Very strange. I'm like I don't want to do too much
I wouldn't.
to my computer because then we'll like totally shut everything down.
It's totally
Um,
fine.
if you click on one of the inscriptions, just
Okay.
click on any one of them.
Okay.
Now go up on top, like
Okay.
to the link basically. I can't see it from yours. So you'll see on the link at the end of the link, it will be the number poem that is.
Yep. So
Change
you're saying
that.
literally the URL.
Yeah, the URL.
Okay.
Change the URL, the last couple numbers, what that's like the number inscription it is. So
Sure.
change that to 0.
Okay. I'm going back 3. How many am I getting rid of? 3
Um,
or all of them?
I can Oh, I don't think it's coming up the correct way on yours. Hmm. Oh, there, you found it. You did it.
Yeah. So I got rid of the right amount. I got rid of 3. Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. So what are we looking at here?
So this is because so Greg is another person that helped me put this on chain. I don't know if you know who Greg is, but if you don't, you definitely should. He's
Secret non-docs super smart coder Greg.
yeah.
Oh, very cool.
Uh
Yeah, I know Greg.
yeah.
I mean, I
So
don't know
not
Greg. Does anyone know Greg? But I know of his genius
I
and
I mean he has my seed phrase. So like do you really need to know someone if you give them your seed phrase?
exactly.
Um
Full trust.
full trust. So he was telling me that I guess coders start counting from 0,
Right.
not from 1.
Right.
But that kind of made me angry. Not angry, but I was like, no, the inscriptions need to be numbered 1 through 369, not 0 through to 368. That doesn't make any sense. So then, like going back and forth, we decided to put a hidden inscription in there that so he could feel good about starting to count from 0, and I could feel good about having them 1 to 369. So this poem I wrote, it was not part of the collection. I wrote it specifically for Greg, and then Greg owns this inscription. It was a gift to him.
Oh,
Um, you might want to read it. I think it's a really good poem, but it's
finding
about
myself at the
0.
beginning before time, before we were separate. I see that one stands alone, while 0 holds the union of everything, cradling all worlds and all feelings. In that emptiness lies endless potential, the full cycle of what was, what is, and what will be. A single post does not make a fence, but it is the birthplace of all that rises. Yeah, that's really beautiful. And I agree with Greg. Yeah, you got to have a 0. Like that's I'm not a coder, but I own a software company. Like, yeah, you gotta start with 0. But that's a cool. Like, I like that it's an Easter egg that you put that in there. This is super cool, super beautiful. I love the art, and yeah, what a cool keepsake for him helping you to gift that to him. This is really really cool.
Thank you. Yeah, there's a ton of Easter eggs. He also helped me make all of the inscription numbers, their vanity IDs. So we got as many 369s as we could into it. Of course, the fee rates are 369. The stat padding is 369. Every inscription is on palindrome sats, which that was really fun for me to buy and find a bunch of palindrome sats. Um,
Yeah,
so yeah, there's
palindromes are fun. I actually just
yeah.
got I got a 2D palindrome. It was the cheapest one like 4 months ago. It was like a couple
Ooh.
$100 and it was all sixes and nines. I'm like, are you kidding me? That should be the most expensive one. It's like, it's not 6969. So it's not like the perfect 69, but it's like 669, 966, whatever. But I
Yeah.
was like a 2D or
That's a good one.
I
I
thought
know
so
I start
too.
I start talking about this kind of stuff to like people, friends in like my IRL situations, and they're like, "What are you talking about?"
I know. They're thinking we're like these sex addled and it's so baked into this insane culture we're in. We're like, yeah, like I'm completely not that guy at all. I'm like, oh yeah, 60, I got the best one, 69, 69, like,
But
and you and I are both like looking, like grabbing our chins, like, that's good art. That's good art.
yeah, no, but 6 9 is not only a sex thing. 6 9 is infinity. The way that like it
Right.
fits on each other.
It's the yin yang, right?
Yeah, it's the yin yang. It represents infinity. So that's also why I knew that I had to use palindromes for this collection. So
I think that was
yeah.
really clever. And I love that. I'm a big fan of any collection where all the little things are thought out, like the padding, getting sat numbers that have 369 in it. Like, cause I know he probably had to do that custom, cause
Mhm.
it's not like you just find those and buy them in bulk. You got to like sort through all your wallets with code and actually find them. But it's
Yeah.
really clever. And to me, it just, like having as many things aligned with all the fun little tools we have with recursion, sat number, and how you do it and padding. I think that's just super smart.
Yeah, well, thank you. I'm always happy to talk to people who actually appreciate it. A lot of thought went into it, and
We have breakup number 4, but it will fix itself, everybody. Before then, we have this cup as the sponsor of this show. Until Harmony comes back. She is back.
I
You're
hear
back.
you now. I'm back.
Yeah.
So I said that's why I appreciated working with Greg, because I came to him with all these ideas, and he not only said yes, we can do that, but then he came to me with a bunch of ideas that I didn't even know existed. So it was really fun to work with him, as well as he is the one who proofread all of my poems.
Oh dear
And
God.
I didn't know he was going to do that. I think I was complaining that like I didn't have anyone to proofread it, and I put it in AI and it still didn't like there was still so many discrepancies. Um and he came back to me with like in this line the period, the capital is after the period,
Wow.
and he, yeah, all of that stuff. He goes, "Well, did you do this for meaning? Like does this like
Wow.
put
So he
meaning into the
really
poem?"
read it.
Yeah. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I mean,
So, and if
really,
you,
really
yeah,
good coders like Greg can, their attention spans to detail, they can sit and focus on something for hours and hours and hours,
yeah,
and it's really incredible, and it's a testament. When I started my software company back in the day, we used to make iPhone apps back in the very early days, and there was no. My business partner was one of the best devs in the world, but there weren't any others. And I'm good at math, but I've never coded. And we were debating whether I should get into coding. And he just sat and he asked me, he's like, if we're in crunch time, building an app for someone else or for us to get it on the app store, can you sit for 12, 13, 14 hours at a time, like crunch time, to get it done? And I'm like, yes, I definitely have that mentality. Like when I'm ADHD or non ADHD, like zeroed in on something, I don't give up.
hyper focus.
But I
Yeah.
know that over time that that wouldn't vibe with me at all. Like, I don't know if I would get joy out of that. And I think Greg is he's probably top 1 or 2 coders in this whole space, but his attention to detail is absolutely amazing. And the fact that he did it
It's
with
unreal.
poetry, that's
Yeah.
incredible, because 369, that's a lot to write for you and make it feel like it's still cohesive and each one is fulfilling, but obviously it's a lot to proofread for him too.
Totally. So you'll see if you look at the inscriptions that all of the poems are also in the metadata. If you scroll all the way down, this one has a different metadata. It just says that it was left,
In-
intentionally.
Intentionally silent inscription. I love that.
Yeah.
So if we go
So,
back to this other one, all the
yeah.
metadata, I in each day reflecting on the 9 moments, gazing the way light dances on the surfaces of my tea as the slow drift cloud carries the day away. I love it because poetry is obviously so much in the eye of the beholder, but I can tell like
Mhm.
you've been doing this a long time and it's not, now that I know like you swim in the ocean is a part of you. You commune with the ocean. It's not like seashells are awesome. Like what you write is very kind of true and deep and definitely transcends. So very cool. How far do you swim,
Thank
by the
you.
way, when you swim?
So usually it's like a mile and a half, but
Damn.
I've gone up to 5 miles swim
Wow.
in the ocean. That's the longest I've done.
How often do you
Yeah.
do it?
Um, at least once a week, but I train in the pool when I'm not in the ocean, and then sometimes it's more like 3 or 4 times a week. Yeah.
Wow. Okay. When you say
Yeah.
train, do you do like mini Ironmans and stuff or
When I was young, when I was young, the best I did was a half Ironman.
okay.
I didn't like place or anything like that. I just did it to complete it, and I'm like the clumsiest person. You met me in real life, but not for a long period of time. But like if you spent time with me, you'll see like I'm kind of all over the place. So running is not my forte. Like I
Okay.
am, yeah, I'm not good on my feet.
Keep me in the
Uh,
water. Keep me in the water.
Exactly. That's where I'm like a graceful fish in the
We
water.
had, we had
Yeah.
a buddy I grew up with and he was so clumsy that we would put like a half or a quarter filled Coke can somewhere in the room and we'd all bet how long it would take him to somehow knock it over. So
Yeah,
it sounds like you
that's
can
me.
can
That's me.
resonate with that. Well,
Yeah.
cool. Let's get back to the 369 poems. So there's obviously 369 of them minus zero, of course. So we won't say there's 370, but maybe there are, maybe there aren't, because it's the secret one. But so this is a collection that is on not Signals, but on Gamma's main site. Correct?
Yeah, I didn't release it as a mint because I felt like it was something that I wanted people to go through and pick the one that resonated with them. I don't know if that was the right decision. It might have been, it might have not been, but it's the decision I made. And for the collectors that I do have so far, which I think is around like 61 collectors,
Okay.
they all have really resonated with their poem and picked it because it meant something in their life. So for me, that just it blew my mind. First of all, the first person who collected it, that anybody would sacrifice some of their Bitcoin to actually own some of my art just
Uh,
touched me so much. It was just amazing. And then the fact that I have 61 people who not only decided to collect, but that are holding it as something very special and meaningful to them is just really fulfilling and rewarding for me, for sure.
No, that's super cool. And
Yeah.
it's how, this space obviously we both know is very dormant right now. And it's a very small group when you start to go around to, Miami or Nashville or Vegas or whatever and you start to meet people and obviously we're all different shades of like I would say we're all different shades of like healthy crazy, but it's really neat to see when people transition from collector to using their artistic talent to put something immutably on chain. And I know right now it seems like there's just not anyone around, but it's just people that there's 10 things people have to understand and get before they're going to understand ordinals. And,
Yeah.
maybe it'll always be a niche thing, but I don't know. As the years go by, like, what other place of eternal art can you do so many cool things, like using the golden ratio in and palindromes in every aspect of what you're doing, because not because you can, you're not getting pizza sats just to get pizza sats because it's a pizza sat. Like, who gives a crap? You're doing it because it has meaning and it adds meaning to the collection. And who knows, it might take archivists and anthropologists 48 years or 100 years to figure this stuff out, but people will come here, and when they uncover it, they're going to see a whole lot of dick butts, right? And then they're going to see mixed in all
Worth
that.
it. Yeah.
They're going to see super cool collections and ideas and thoughtful concepts. Before we go, Harmony, is there anything you want people to know? I mean, everyone can go to Gamma. Just type in 369 Shell Poems on Gamma. Super easy to find by Harmony. Go through them. I do like that you intentionally release them all at once and just said, hey, when you're ready, go through it and really read them and pick the one that resonates with you. Right now they're only Bitcoin wise, they're only $81. So, like, find one that resonates with you, and if you got a cool display at home, put that thing up and let it resonate
Yeah.
forever.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I think also the beauty of having the text box is that you can kind of just scroll down and see if any of the art jumps out at you, read the first line, and then if that first line touches you, then you can go in and kind of explore more. That's why I wanted them all to be interactive. There's also a couple of them that are dynamic. I think all except one of the animated ones have been collected so far, and that was Daph who helped me with the animation. Um, yeah, so the one you see on top is my favorite one, the one that is like the picture for the collection,
Oh, yeah, yeah,
and
yeah.
that's number 369.
Okay, so that's the last
It's
one.
a Yeah, that's the last one.
Cool.
Um, yeah, that one is also a beautiful one. That one is about um, like death and renewal. Um, yeah, so I think it's really something fun to explore. And you're totally right. I did want to have something immutably on chain. Like, I do a lot of spaces, I talk to a lot of founders. I drank the Ordinals Kool-Aid,
Sure.
and it made me want to have my own expression and my own conviction in the space be immutably inscribed here. Um, something of me that can solidify my place in this space. So that was like definitely the reason why I chose Bitcoin and why I chose to do this specific work. Uh, I don't know. I'm so happy that I did it.
Yeah, I am too. I think it's really beautiful, and God, there's so many beautiful ones in there. But I like what you're saying. Like, go to Gamma, check them out, find a cool pattern that pops to you. Yeah, and just read the poetry and see if one kind of resonates with your life and pick it up. Harmony, it was so great to have you on the show, and it was nice to. I know you and I met very quickly in
Briefly,
Vegas.
yeah.
But it was nice to get to spend time with you and get to know you better. And thanks for sharing your poetry and your art. I think it definitely makes this crazy ordinal space a better place.
Thank you so much. It was lovely to be here.
All right, take care, everybody. Bye, Harmony.